salt tastes delicious in food, and that's going to be a hard one for a lot of people to give up. How do you recommend people reduce salt in their diet without really sacrificing some of the taste that they like? Have you found salt alternatives? For example, I really like coconut aminos instead of soy sauce. Coconut aminos are a lot lower in sodium. They're also gluten-free. And so that's something that's a healthy alternative that I have used. What are some foods or spices that you have found are really helpful in maintaining a low sodium diet without sacrificing too much taste?
Yeah, I don't agree with that concept either, by the way, because salt deadens your taste buds, and the more you acclimate to it, the more it not only weakens your taste buds to taste the natural salt in foods, it also weakens accessory and other taste ability of your tongue. So you lose your taste muscle. So people who are off salt for 3 months or more finally find that they can enjoy flavors that food never had before. And so the addiction to salt has weakened people's ability to enjoy flavors. So they don't taste the sweetness of lettuce. They don't taste that an avocado or an artichoke has unique, subtle flavors. They don't taste the strawberries even being sweet. Their taste buds are deadened from all the salt and sugar in their diet. So what I'm saying to you, it's the opposite. You lose pleasure of eating, and you lose the subtle symphony of flavors that food offers you when you overdose your taste buds with salt. It's only the temporary loss of flavor when you first come off the salt. With any addiction, when you first stop smoking or come off the alcohol, come off all the sweets, temporarily you're going to feel worse, and temporarily you're going to feel like you're missing something. People have these love affairs with illicit substances that are dangerous for them, but that's called withdrawal.
Sure do.
So we're talking about the fact that, and people have rationalizations because they always, the primitive brain is so powerfully and its addictive attraction to these substances that it'll come up with irrational excuses why they can't give it up. I can't give up sugar. I can't do that, or I can't do that because I'm too busy. I might go out to eat, or it's the primitive brain is defending itself. But I have to say that, yes, we use roasted garlic and the subtle flavors of herbs and spices. We toast sesame seeds and poppy seeds and mix them with cardamom and tarragon. And we have all types of interesting and delicious flavors and delicious desserts and delicious recipes made without salt, without sweet sugar, without sweeteners like honey and maple syrup. We don't cook things in oil. So a Nutritarian diet is a diet that's we're not using processed foods, and it's SOS free. SOS free means sugar, salt, and oil free. See, a conventional diet gets fat from animal fats and oils, and we get our fat from whole natural plants like walnuts and sesame seeds and hemp seeds and almonds and avocado and things like that. So we're trying to eat as much natural food as possible.
Now, would you like to go out to eat? So I recently went to a vegan restaurant in San Francisco. I was amazed. I couldn't find something that I could eat because I don't eat nightshades. So a lot of stuff had tomatoes in it. And then a lot of the vegan food was fried food. I said, I'm at a vegan restaurant. I really don't want to have French fries. And I don't want the Impossible Burger, And so I had them make me a customized salad with some chopped up carrots and some roasted cauliflower. So I had to make my own meal at the vegan restaurant. What do you like to eat? Are you able to eat out? And what are some instructions that you use when you eat out? Like I sometimes bring my own sauces. That's been helpful. I'll bring my own olive oil because their olive oil can have canola oil in it. Are you able to eat out? And then what are some tips that you found are helpful so that you can eat out and not intake things that are unhealthy for you?
Well, I can eat out for social purposes and ask for something I would like them to make. But you're right. I agree with what you're saying, that just because a restaurant is vegan doesn't have anything to do with it being healthy. They could be eating fried food, salted food, greasy food, sugar, honey. It doesn't matter. There's plenty of junk food, vegan food. But in any case, whether you go to a vegan restaurant or non-vegan restaurant, you still have to, it usually is helpful to call ahead to the chef and ask if he could accommodate whatever your needs would be. But in any case, besides that, I have better tasting food at home than I would at a restaurant. Because once you take, they don't really know how to make food taste good. They just know how to make conventional food that people like to eat that's heavily, is fried, salted. So, I have a retreat in San Diego where people who are overweight, food addicts, and who have medical conditions come here to get well. And they stay here a month or 2 months or 3 months. And we have 4 chefs that make incredibly delicious food that, there's much better taste than any restaurant. So I have food here. And, of course, when I lived in New Jersey and I made my own food with my wife, we still made great tasting food. You make like a banana ice cream made with 1 banana for 2 people, a handful of macadamia nuts and real vanilla bean powder, and a splash of plant milk, or salad dressings made with, with tomato sauce, sun-dried tomatoes, roasted garlic, black fig vinegar, almonds and toasted, so we have all these incredibly delicious recipes. And that's what my teachings and my message is, to show people that you can eat a diet where you can live to be, the average lifespan of a human should be between 97 and 107 years old.